So, okay, I think the recording has started now. So, we are under types of, oh, can start again. Okay. To this class, we are going to learn about transport or circulatory system. And this transport system is the system responsible for moving materials such as gases. The gases comprises CO2 gas and O2 gas. That's oxygen and carbon dioxide gas. Then nutrients after the digestion, which the large molecule food has been broken down into what? Into the small molecules soluble, like protein will break down to amino acids, so carbohydrate will break down to glucose, fat and oil or lipid to fatty acids. So those are those are the nutrients. So they are being transported in the body by this circulatory system also. Then some hormones, so different hormones like adrenaline, estrogen, testosterone, like that. They are the hormones are chemical messengers. Waste products. So we have the the urea, the sweat, the the CO2 gas to be transported. So sorry for the disruption in the call. So the transport system is known as circulatory system in animal, while in plant it is called vascular system. I said already, you know that anything vascular system in plants, it has to do with xylem and phloem. Then when you mention circulatory system, it will comprise of three things. That's blood vessel, blood, and heart. So let's look at why organism needs a transport system. Why is transport system important in an organism? The first reason is that it is needed to supply oxygen to all the cells in the body, to transport nutrients that we mentioned before. So from the digestive system, after the digestion, to remove waste products such as CO2 and urea from the body that are toxic to the body, to circulate hormones to where they are needed, to distribute it and maintain body temperature. That's homeostasis. To transport defensive material like antibodies, such as phagocytes, to be produced by the white blood cells. To transport water and mineral salts, this is in plants, is work of xylem. And to transport manufactured food in plants, that's phloem. Now I said we have types of, let me just change this on to circulatory. So we have type of circulatory system. We have two type. The first one is uh open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. So in this open circulatory system, uh, is a type of circulatory system found in some animals like insects and mollusk. I hope you can hear me very well. So I want to start explaining some things. So if you want to jot it down. So open circulatory system is a kind of circulatory system found in animals such as insects and mollusk. So if I'm talking about insect and mollusk, you know that falls under what? Invertebrates. The heart pumps the blood into the blood vessels. And if I may ask, how many type of blood vessels do you have? Who can list the blood vessels for me? Blood vessels that we have before we even get there.
We have three.
Three.
Yes, list
Yes.
them.
White blood cells, red blood cells, and
I'm
platelets.
not talking about I'm not talking about
So
blood
that's
cells, blood
arteries, veins,
vessels.
and capillaries.
Okay, maybe
So
arteries and
Arteries, veins, and
arteries,
capillaries.
arteries, veins, and capillary.
capillary.
So
Okay.
the heart will pump the blood into the blood vessels, which branches and open into spaces in the body cavity. Cavity. So it uh it gets into this body cavity. Then the organ and the blood are bathed. So the organ and the blood are bathed in the what, in the spaces. They exchange materials. So exchange of material occur between the what, the blood cells and the blood. Then the blood only flow in only one direction. In only one direction. Open circulatory system. So let me just show you. Before we go to closed circulatory system, let me show you this. Um, okay, let me think it down. Let me find the diagram here. Hmm. Okay, we'll look at diagram later. So we'll look at diagram later. You just have something like this. In that open circulatory system, we have a cavity like this. So we have a cavity like this. Fine. So mind the structure like a hand. So we have I'm not drawing crab. So the blood goes here. Blood goes like this. So now you can see that this is one direction. The arrow is the blood is moving from here. So this is the cavity called hemocoel. So the blood will be bathed here and it will move to this direction. And here is not closed, it is open. You can see that this structure like hand and this one, they are not closing together. So the blood will pass through here also. It can enter through here. It can enter through here and goes like this and also goes come like this. Let me just So if the blood comes here, this one we move like this. So this one will move like this. So this one will move like this. So they will come here again They will come here again. They will go up like this. So, but this place and this place, so and this place and this place are not joining together. They are not closed. So they are not closed. It is open. The blood will come. It will pass through here to this place and come back. So this is a kind of what open circulatory system. But if it is in other organisms which have closed circulatory system, this thing and this thing will be close together like this. So you still get to understand what I'm saying as you move on. So then the second one is, I said that this type of circulatory system is found in what? Insect and mollusk, and they have the spaces in body cavity called what? Hemocoel. So the closed circulatory system, there is no time in the process of circulation that the blood is exposed. So the blood is not exposed, unlike open circulatory system. So in closed circulatory system, the blood is pumped from the heart to the arteries. So the blood is being pumped from the heart to the arteries, then from the arteries to the capillaries. So in the capillaries now, there is exchange of materials between the cells and the blood. Then from capillary, the blood is returned to the heart back through the vein. So that's closed circulatory system. Then in plants, you know it. What do the transport is what is xylem, transport water, minerals, and the phloem which transport manufacture food, the leaf to root and other part of the plant. Now let's go to it in deeply. Open circulatory system is found in insect and arthropod. Blood is called hemolymph. Who can remember me the name of the blood cavity of organism open circulatory system?
The name of the what?
The blood cavity. You know the name of the blood is hemolymph. What is the name of
Yes,
the
sir.
blood cavity? Is what? The body cavity which contains the blood, where we have the hemolymph. What's the name of the structure called? Hemocoel. That's what I've just told you here. So hemolymph is present inside what? Hemocoel. Okay. This is the
Yes,
cavity
sir.
which contains the blood. This is the name of their what? Of their blood. Blood of insects. Can you see, have you killed the insect and you see red blood? No, you not see red blood. You just see a whitish cream liquid that is coming out from this. So that's called hemolymph. Mm?
Yes.
So hemolymph does not flow in vessels. It bathes tissue directly. So there is low pressure and slow transport. So that's what open circulatory system. Then the closed circulatory system is found in vertebrates like human being, mammals, birds, reptiles, and fishes. So blood flows in vessels. That means in open circulatory system, it does not have what? Blood vessel. There's no blood vessel. Everything is just open, as I've drew you the diagram then. So, but in closed circulatory system, which is found in vertebrates, that means open circulatory system is found in what? Invertebrates. Most of the
Exactly.
invertebrates. So why closed circulatory system is found in what? The vertebrate. There is
Vertebrate.
blood vessels, which are arteries, veins, and capillary. It contains blood vessels. Then there is high pressure, there's faster transport, and it is more efficient. Now let's look at the common components of human circulatory system. So the first one is the blood. The first component of human circulatory system is the blood. The second is the blood vessels. I will mention the type of blood vessels. So arteries, veins, and capillary. And also we have the heart. So before we move there, this closed circulatory system is divided into two. Closed circulatory system is divided into what? Into two.
Input two.
Let me just write it here if I do not have it. So it is divided into two. So which are the first one is single circulatory system,
Double circulatory system.
and double circulatory system.
System.
So double. Now, we said that closed circulatory system is common in the what? Vertebrates. That means we can have some part of the vertebrates too that they will have single circulatory system, and we have some that have this what? Double circulatory system. Do you understand like that? So what is the meaning of single circulatory system? So this single circulatory system is common in Pisces. You know what is Pisces now? The
Yes.
fishes.
Yes, fishes.
So now this double circulatory system now is common in amphibia,
Amphibian. If
amphibians, mammals,
if
apes, mammals, and reptiles.
reptiles, yes. But the single one is it only common in the Pisces?
Yes, it's common in the Pisces.
Okay.
So now the single circulatory system is a type of circulatory system that the blood passes through the heart once for a complete circulatory system. So the blood passes through the heart once. So to complete what is a circulatory system. So the heart chambers is divided into two. We've learned this. One of the characteristics of what of class Pisces. They have two chambered hearts. They have one ventricle and one auricle or atrium. So they have one ventricle and one auricle. So why in double circulatory system, the blood passes through the heart twice to make a complete circulatory system. So that's the meaning of what? Of double circulatory system. So then under this double circulatory system, we still have another division, which is called pulmonary circulation. So I hope you are getting the division now. We have the pulmonary
Yes, sir.
circulatory system.
Yes, sir.
So and we have the systemic circulatory system.
Circulatory.
Now, so we are going to talk on this later. So, but you know that closed circulatory system now is that what is it contains blood vessels is found in what vertebrates and is divided into single and double. The single is common in what in Pisces, and it means that the blood passes through the heart how many times? Once to make a complete
One.
circulatory system, to make a complete circulation. Why in double? Why is it called double? The blood will pass how many times through the heart?
Two.
Twice.
Yes.
So
Times. Yes.
to make a complete circulation, and it's divided into what?
Circulation
Pulmonary circulation and
and
systemic circulation.
systemic.
It is common in the other vertebrates like amphibia, mammals, apes, and reptiles. And we already know the number of heart chamber that is present in this. I say in fishes we have two heart
Two
chamber,
chambers.
so one
Yes.
auricle and one ventricle.
One
What
ventricle.
of in amphibians we have three.
Yep.
In amphibians
Three.
and reptiles we have three. So except in crocodile that we have four.
Four. Yes.
So in reptiles, so both amphibians and reptiles we have three, but mammals and apes we have four. So we have two auricles and we have two
Two
ventricles. So
ventricles.
we'll take a look at them we'll look at the blood first before the blood vessel. and finally to the heart. So let's take a look at the blood. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
I think others
Yes,
are.
sir.
I think others are also following, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so the blood, I say that is one of the components of what of the circulatory system. There are three components of circulatory system: human circulatory system, blood, blood vessel, and the heart. So let's look at the blood. The blood is the main transport medium in mammals. So blood is a okay. Let me ask this question: is blood a cell or a tissue or organ or system?
The blood is a tissue.
So blood is a what? Is a tissue. Is
The
a
tissue.
liquid tissue. Is a liquid
Tissue, yeah.
tissue. Is a fluid tissue. It is made up of about 55% fluid called plasma and 45% blood cell. So blood contain 55% plasma, which is the fluid aspect of the blood, and 45% blood cell. So you can see the plasma is the first one. How many percent? Like 55% of the blood. So, and the blood cells contain what? 45%. The blood cell is divided into what? Three.
Sorry.
The first one is
Red
the
blood
red
cells,
blood cells. It's also known as
white blood cells,
erythrocyte.
and
White blood cells is also known as leukocyte.
Lymphocyte.
And
leukocytes.
platelet, blood platelet, known as what? Thrombocyte.
Thrombocytes.
Thrombocyte.
So the first one is blood plasma. So and is one that is that that has the major percent, highest percent of the blood. So
Okay.
how many
The
percent?
thrombocytes.
55%. So it's a yellowish liquid that makes up 55% of blood. It contains water, proteins such as albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen. It also contains hormone, mineral salts, digested food, waste products, urea, and antibodies. So let's look at the function of the plasma. What is the function of blood plasma? Blood plasma transport food substances in the body, transport waste products. It also transports hormone, transport heat, it transports proteins and antibodies. Now, red blood cell contain hemoglobin. That's the red pigment. The red
Yes,
pigment of
that
red
make
blood
the
cells
blood
is
red.
called what? That makes the blood red. It's called hemoglobin. So it's for carrying oxygen. So that shows that we have some blood cells that have oxygen, that have nucleus. We have some that do not have nucleus. So like this red blood cell now, it does not have nucleus. Hmm? So it is formed in the bone marrow. The hemoglobin is for carrying oxygen, and the lifespan is that it can use 120 days. It is a disc-shaped blood cell. So the function is, what's the function of red blood cell? Is to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. Now let's go to white blood cells. White blood cells are larger. I should be fast now because of my battery percent. So the white blood cells is larger than red blood cells and it has nucleus. Can you see? Red blood cell has no nucleus and white blood cells has nucleus. So that's the reason why it even have the what? The red color. So and white blood cell will not have what? Red color because it does not have nucleus also, does not have the red pigment. So the white blood cells it fight disease. So that's the major function of white blood cells, like it fight disease. But red blood cells now it transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. So we have types of white blood cells. We have phagocytes, it engulf and digest pathogen. So I made mention of phagocytosis sometimes, that's engulfing bacteria, so or engulfing food particles, anything engulfing. So inside the cytoplasm is called phagocytosis. So we have some white blood cells which are phagocytes, that which they engulf and digest, they destroy pathogens like virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, like that. We also have lymphocytes. It is this lymphocyte that produce antibodies. What is the meaning of antibodies? Antibodies are substances that fight against foreign body that enters the body. So the name of those foreign bodies are called antigen. So antigen. So antibodies are the what? They are the one that will fight the antigen, the foreign body that enter the body. So white blood cell, the lymphocytes will produce antibodies. Now let's go to platelets. So platelets are small, they have small cell fragments and they help in blood clotting. That's the major function of blood platelets. So when you have a cut in your body, you know blood will be flowing out. So if you now have enough blood platelets in your body, so there will be excessive, you will lose blood. So there will be loss of blood, too much loss of blood. The platelets, if you have blood platelets in your blood, so it will come to the surface of the wound and it will now form a what? A clot, a coagulant. The blood will coagulate to become thick at that surface. So it will prevent blood from what? Flowing out again. So I hope you get that. Those are the blood cells that we have. Can we continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the second component of blood is what? Blood vessels. So, and I've told you before, we have three types of blood vessels. The first one is the artery. What's the function of the artery? It carries blood away from the heart. It is thick. The artery is thick. It has muscular walls. It has no valve. It carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. So all art knows this. Know these two things. The function of the artery is that it carries blood away from the heart. Then all artery does this function except, so then all artery carries the oxygenated blood. All arteries carries oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. So it's only the pulmonary artery that does not carry oxygenated blood. So all artery, every artery, the type of blood that they carry away from the heart is what? Is oxygenated blood. But pulmonary artery is the only type of artery that does not carry oxygenated blood.
So we can continue.
Now let's go to the veins. What's the function of the veins? It carry blood into the heart. So it has thin walls, it does not have thick walls. It has valve to prevent backward flow of blood. And all veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. So it's only pulmonary vein that does not carry deoxygenated blood. Instead, it carries oxygenated blood. So it's just like what? Vice versa of artery and veins. Think you understand that? Okay. Yeah, okay. Quickly talk. Okay. You are raising your hand.
Now, my question is that in the hospital, we get injection. They used to sometimes give the injection through the vein. So my question
Yeah.
is that does the injection pass through the vein to the heart before it started acting in the body, or because
It
sometimes you
is
feel
okay.
the injection in your mouth,
Yeah,
in your
yes,
head or
yes,
something,
yes.
is it also part of the function of the vein?
So the function of the vein is to carry blood to the heart. You know the blood that they give you in your artery and your vein, so it's inside your what? Your body. So from that vein, through that vein, the blood, every second, blood is being pumped from the heart to the body and from the body back to the heart. So the one that will be pumped from your body to the heart, it has already have that injection. So it will circulate through your heart also. So that's the reason. So the blood from your body is still going back to your heart. The heart will pump it back to the body. So it's when it gets to the body that it will become deoxygenated. When it gets back to the heart, it will become oxygenated. So that's why it flows between the heart and the body. Blood flows between the heart and the body. And it is because blood is blood that is being transported from what? Throughout the body. So anything that's why if you are being bitten by a snake or scorpion, the venom, so you know that they will quickly maybe they'll quickly put a boundary so that the blood will not go to your heart. I don't know, maybe you get my explanation. So when maybe
Yes, sir.
if you are bitten by a snake, so and the venom is passed so into what, into your body, it can pass through the vein to the heart, and a maybe a rope will quickly be tied so that that blood will not go to what, will not be passed through
Heart.
to your heart. So but whenever you, they put injection in your, in your vein, it will go, it will be it will go to the heart, and the heart will transport it again. It will, they have to pump the blood again throughout the body. So that's how you feel it.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir.
uh, so the capillaries is the intermediary between the artery and the veins. The capillaries, so is the one that is found in between the artery and the veins. So arteries, capillaries are microscopic in nature, and they have one cell thick walls, so they connect the artery to the vein. So that's the function of capillary. It connects artery to the vein. So and it also mixes oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood together. Now let's quickly go to the heart. This is where we have work. So explaining the heart will let you know most things. Now the heart, that's human heart. Oh, we have four chamber. The structure of the heart has four chamber: the right atrium, the left atrium, the right ventricle, and what, and the left ventricle. Let me quickly sketch a diagram for you. You are talking about the heart, you have something like this. So we have four chamber. So this will be the right atrium, and this will be the left atrium. This will be the right ventricle, and this will be what, the left ventricle. So we have upper and lower side, Abi, and we have left and right side. This upper part of the heart, is known as what, atrium. Atrium, or what, or auricle. There's no need of writing it, you know that already. So this lower part of the heart, the down part, is known as what, ventricle. So atrium or auricle, upper part of the heart, lower part of the heart, ventricle. Then the left part, the right part, so we have the what, the right atrium and the right ventricle at the right part. Then the left part, we have the what, the left atrium and the left ventricle. So quickly understand this one before we move to the structure of the heart. Now this is what you've seen there in that sketch. Now this is one of the structure of the heart. The major blood vessels in the heart, we have aorta, the largest artery; vena cava, the largest vein. Okay, let me quickly go to the structure of the heart so that we can see it. So this is the structure of the heart. I hope you can see it clearly. Can you see it clearly?
Yes, sir.
So the arrow shows how blood are being moved into the heart and are being moved away from the heart. So now look at this part. Look at this part. This part is called vena cava. So which type? We have two type of vena cava. The one that leads to the head. This place now, head. It it leads to the head. So it's called superior vena cava. So superior vena cava. Now look at below. We have one that is coming from what? The lower part of the body. You know, from the head down to the heart to the chest is from what? Upper to the what? Lower. Then from the leg to the pass through the stomach, come to the chest region where the heart is the lower part, is like this. So this part is called what? This part is called the inferior vena cava. Inferior. So we have superior vena cava, bring that lead the part of the heart that leads to the head, and the inferior vena cava, the part of the heart that leads to what? The rest part of the body. Note that like that. So now we have, this is the right atrium. This is the right atrium, and this is the left atrium here. So this is the right ventricle here, is the right ventricle, and this is the left ventricle. So let me now explain. The oxygenated blood, so coming to the blood returning to the heart, or let me start like this. In your body now, blood is flowing through your body, right? You know, blood is flowing through your body now. That blood that is flowing through your body, except the heart, the blood does not have oxygen. I'm not talking about the blood that is in your heart, that has gotten to your heart. The one that is still flowing around your body, maybe the head region, the hand, the other part of the body, except the heart, those blood are deoxygenated blood, blood that does not have oxygen. Why are they deoxygenated? Because they have high concentration of carbon dioxide and low concentration of oxygen. Now there is one blood. So if that blood now pass through the lungs, you know, in the lungs we breathe in oxygen, abi. So oxygen comes through through the what? Through the lungs. So the lungs is very rich in oxygen. When the blood passes through the lung, it will become oxygenated. When it leaves the lung again and goes through the what? The heart, and the heart pump it to the body, it will become deoxygenated again, because inside the body there is low concentration of what? Oxygen, and high concentration of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will diffuses into it, and it will become deoxygenated again. So listen to this explanation now. I want to explain it now. Blood returning to the heart from part of the body other than the lungs, so has a high concentration of carbon dioxide and a low concentration of oxygen. Therefore, that blood coming from the body is called what? Deoxygenated blood. So when the blood is now coming from the body, who can tell me where can the blood pass through from the body to the heart? What ways leads to the body here? We have how many ways? 2 ways. You can see this part is called the what? Superior vena cava, and this one is called what? Inferior vena cava. So blood can come into the heart through in 2 ways from the body. So from what? From the head, which is through superior vena cava, and from what? From the other part of the body, which is inferior vena cava. Can you see the arrow? That is, blood is coming from the body into this place like this, and blood is coming from the upper part to this place like this. So blood will enter here, blood will enter here. Where are they going to? They are coming here. They are coming here. So this place now is the part of the heart, is the first chamber of the heart, where the blood coming from above the body and below the body, they will get to, and the place is called the right atrium. Are you understanding me now?
Yes, sir.
Should I continue?
Yes, sir.
I started telling you that the blood in your body, they are not rich in oxygen. Therefore, they are called deoxygenated blood. And when they want to come to the heart, they will pass through two places. The first one is called the valve is vena cava, and we have two types of vena cava. The first one is superior, the one above, and the one below is
Below
inferior.
is inferior.
So the blood will now come from the what? Through the superior vena cava and through the inferior vena cava. Where are they going to? Where are they going to reach first? Which part of the heart are they going to reach first? Is the right
Right.
atrium,
Yep.
right atrium or right auricle. So now when they reach the right atrium, the right atrium will now send this deoxygenated blood into the right ventricle. Can you see it now? Look at this arrow. The blood will now move from the right atrium. It will be coming down here. It will now come here, and this is the what? The right ventricle.
Ventricle.
Hmm? So you see that the blood has left right atrium now. Where does it come to? Eh?
Right ventricle. Right
Right
ventricle.
ventricle. Abi. So when the blood gets to the right ventricle, the muscles of the right ventricle, there are muscles inside this right ventricle. So they will contract and force the blood out of the right ventricle. They will now force it into what? The pulmonary artery. They will force it into what? The pulmonary artery.
Artery.
So this part now, this part is called the pulmonary artery. Can you see this artery now? Is called the pulmonary artery. Can you see that the blood has curved and come through this pulmonary artery and is going all this pipe, this tube is still part of pulmonary artery. Can you see pulmonary artery here now?
Yes,
Eh?
sir.
Now the blood is inside pulmonary artery now. The pulmonary artery will now send the blood to the lung. Look at pulmonary artery has mouth here. It has opening that leads to the what? The left lung here. And this is another right lung. So look at pulmonary artery now divide into two here. One opening goes to the right lung, and one opening goes to the what? Left lung. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? The blood is coming from here and it has entered the pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery now has like two hands, one to the left, one to the right, and it will now open. So this is what? This left lung, this is what? Right lung. The blood will now enter here. It will enter the two lungs. When the blood gets to the lungs, is the lung rich in oxygen or carbon dioxide? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Is the oxygen that is highly concentrated in the lung or carbon dioxide?
It is carbon dioxide.
It is oxygen. It is oxygen.
Oxygen.
When you breathe,
Oxygen.
you breathe into your. So it is oxygen.
Rich in
Now,
oxygen.
mind you, blood, the type of the blood coming from the body that enters the right atrium, goes to the right ventricle, goes to the pulmonary artery before going to the lungs. Is the blood oxygenate? Does the blood contain oxygen or not? Does the blood contain oxygen or
It does
the
not
body?
contain oxygen.
It does not
Oxygen.
contain oxygen. It does
Yes,
not
sir.
contain oxygen. That's why it is referred to as what?
The
Deoxygenated.
oxygenated blood.
Now, when the blood now finally gets to the lung, the two lungs, oxygen that is inside the lungs will now diffuse into the blood. The carbon dioxide will go away. So the blood will now become oxygenated. That shows that the blood will get to the lung before it is what? It becomes oxygenated. Now, when the blood is now oxygenated in the lung, the blood will now return back from the lung. Can you see? This is to the lung. This is our lung now. The blood will now come here. It will now come here. it will now enter like this. Can you see this arrow? Look at the direction of this arrow. The blood will now enter here. Where is it entering now? It will enter this pipe, this opening. It will now enter it to the what? To the left atrium here. Look at this. This one will enter through here. This one will enter through here. The blood, the oxygenated blood will now get to the left atrium here. After it has been oxygenated in the lungs, it will now come from the lung, pass through these two openings to what? To the left atrium. So oxygenated blood has reached left atrium now. So you can see that the oxygenated blood is represented by blue arrow. That shows that it's not red, does not have oxygen. So you can see that this, let me erase this one so that you can see it very well. So look at the arrow in this left side. Can you see that all the arrows are red? That shows that this type of blood here, it has oxygen. That's what it's telling you. That it has oxygen. You can see that all this one here, that they are blue. All the blood, the type of blood in the right part of the heart, they are blue. That shows that those are the oxygenated blood. But when it has been oxygenated now, can you see they are using red arrow? So the blood has now gotten to the left atrium now. What will happen next? So this oxygenated blood, it will now be pumped from the left atrium. Can you see the arrow? It will be pumped into the left ventricle here. Are you seeing it? Are you getting it? So where is our blood now? Our blood has gotten what? Finally gotten to the left ventricle here, Abby. What other thing will happen? The muscular wall of the left ventricle, they will contract and they will force the blood out of the left ventricle into a large blood vessel called the aorta. Look at this part. The blood is moving like this. It will move like this. Can you see this arrow? It has come here. It wants to enter this place, this part. And look at this tube. It's going from here to here to here, and it branches out here, branches out here, it branches out here. So the left ventricle will send the blood from here to enter this pipe. This big pipe is called aorta. Can you see it labeled aorta? So it's the largest blood vessel. So now, when the blood has entered this aorta, is what is oxygenated, right? When the blood has entered the aorta like that, from this aorta, the blood will now be transported to all parts of the body. Look at this. Look at this place. The blood will come out. Where is it going? To the body. Where is this one going? To the body. Where is this one going? To the body. Look at the part of the aorta, the lower part of the aorta here. It will move down below the body here. This one is above, upper part of the body. It will enter through upper part of the body through these vessels here of the aorta. It will end, this one too will enter to the lower part of the body through the vessel of aorta here. So now our blood has finally gotten back to the body. When the blood now returns to the body now, who can tell me what will happen? The body is rich in carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will diffuse into the blood again. Oxygen will run away. Carbon dioxide will enter. The blood will become deoxygenated again. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, when the blood becomes deoxygenated again, what will happen again? The blood will still go back to our what? Back to our vena cava. That's the deoxygenated blood. It will still move to the what? To the two vena cava. It will enter the left atrium again. It will still go before it got oxygenated. It will still go pass through the what? The aorta into the body again. That's how blood is being the movement of blood from the heart to the body, from the body to the heart again. That's how the circulation of blood is, how the blood circulated on the heart, through the heart and the body. So now, uh, having understand this, let's go. Okay, before we go, let's talk about the valves. Let me erase all these things so that you can see what I want to explain very well. I hope you shall understand what I explained, right?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Can you see the pulmonary artery here? Okay. I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you. You know, I said that when the blood enters the pulmonary artery, so it will send it to the lungs, Abby. So this tube that I said that it will carry the blood from the lung to the left atrium is called the pulmonary vein. This is it. It's called the pulmonary vein. So I think I did not mention pulmonary vein. So this pulmonary artery and this pulmonary vein. So now we said that, let me show you this again. Look at this pulmonary artery and look at pulmonary vein. Hmm? This arrow, is it blue or red?
Blue.
Blue. That means even when the blood gets to the pulmonary artery is still going to send deoxygenated blood to the lung. It is when the blood gets to the lung that pulmonary vein will collect the oxygenated blood. Can you see which type of arrow is this? Blue or red? Red. That shows that
Red.
it is pulmonary vein that will collect the oxygenated blood and put it into the left atrium. Then when I'm now talking about artery, and I say that all artery carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Can you see that a pulmonary artery is not carrying oxygenated blood now? And we are saying that
Yes.
all veins carries the oxygenated blood
Carry
except pulmonary vein.
deoxygenated blood.
So can you see that
Okay.
pulmonary vein is carrying oxygenated blood now?
Deoxygenated blood. Yes.
This is when this statement, you understand this statement. Can you see all artery they carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary
Except
artery?
pulmonary artery.
Which type
But
of
in
blood is
blue,
pulmonary artery carrying here? Which type of blood is pulmonary artery carrying here?
blue.
Deoxygenated. So
Deoxygenated blood.
blue. All veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Which type of blood is pulmonary vein carrying here? Is what?
Oxygenated blood.
Is oxygenated, which is
Oxygenated
red.
blood.
So you understand that like that. What I want to show you. So if you understand this now, like Jambo, you just say that the following carry deoxygenated blood, or the following carry oxygenated blood, they just write pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, like that, they will shall scatter it. So, but you already know your answer. Now, I think I'll just talk on valve and we'll stop here because my system is having 7% now. Look at this. Look at this part, that is found in the entry of the right atrium. It's called valve. The meaning of valve, they are flaps of tissue that open in only one direction. And what is the function of this valve? They prevent backward flow of blood from where they are coming from. So blood is leaving right atrium now, is going. Can you see the arrow? So when the blood leaves the right atrium to the right ventricle now, this thing that opens mouth, they will close. They are called valve. They will close so that the blood that has entered this right ventricle, there will not backward flow. There will not be a backward flow into what? Into the right atrium again. They will close. They only open in one direction. And that valve that is in between artery, right atrium and right ventricle is called atrioventricular valve. And this is it. So atrioventricular valve. And it also has another name. The other name is called tricuspid valve. So atrioventricular valve or tricuspid valve is a type of valve that prevents backward flow of blood from the right ventricle back to the right atrium. So it's found between the two. So now we also have called mitral valve or
By
bicuspid valve.
code.
So it's found on the left. It's found on the left. So in between the left atrium and the left ventricle. So it prevents backward flow of blood to left atrium from what? From left ventricle. So that's mitral or bicuspid valve. Then we also have another valve called semilunar valve. Semilunar valve. So it separates the ventricle from large vessels on each side of the heart. So the semilunar valve is also called pulmonary valve. It's also called pulmonary valve. Blood from flowing back to what? To the ventricle when the heart relaxes. So we have two types of semilunar valve. Hmm? We have two types of semilunar valve. The one at the now, sorry, Councilor Barakatu. My system, my system has shut down. So let me just explain the valve. So I will continue next class. So I hope you can all hear me, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So we are on semilunar valve, Abi.
Yes,
We
sir.
That's
have
right.
talked about we have talked about atrioventricular valve, which is also called tricuspid valve. Is found in between the right atrium and the right ventricle. That's the right side of the heart. So and we've talked about the mitral valve, which is also called bicuspid valve, which is found on the left side of the heart. So which also prevents blood from flowing backward to what? Left atrium from left ventricle. So you understand that, Abby. So now we are talking about semilunar valve. This one is found. We have two types of semilunar valve. So it's found in what? In each side of the heart, the right side and the left side. So the semilunar valve, from the word, its name, semilunar, is just like it divide. It's found in between the what? The two division part of the heart, the right side and the left side. So it's found at the middle. So the semilunar valve that is found at the right side of the heart is called. No, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm not sharing my screen because I'm having what I'm sharing on my system, not on my phone. So just use that picture that we've seen before. Just use it to picture it out. And maybe in at next class we'll still start from there, just to round it up on valve. So now the pulmonary valve, the semilunar valve found at the right side of the heart is called pulmonary valve, while the semilunar valve that is found at the left side of the heart is called aortic valve. So I've mentioned the two types of semilunar valve we have like that. One is found at the right side of the heart, is called pulmonary valve, and one is found at the what? Left side of the heart, which is called aortic valve. But what is the function of what this semilunar valve? The function of the semilunar valve, like it has encompassed two like that. That's pulmonary valve found at the right and aortic valve found at the left. So what is now the function of the two? So the function of semilunar valve is that it prevents blood flow from flowing back into the ventricle when the heart relaxes. So when the heart relaxes, it prevents blood from flowing back to what? To the ventricle. So, and valves now in general, the function of valves in general, all the valves, is that they prevent backward flow of blood. They prevent backward flow of what? Of blood. So they enable blood to move in one direction. It's not that when the blood leaves the right atrium and go to the right ventricle, they will now it will now flow backward to the right atrium. No, the after moving out from the what right atrium now to the right ventricle, the tricuspid valve or atrioventricular valve will what will close. So and it will leave it to move in other direction. So I hope you understand that. So we've done uh, blood, blood vessels, and we are on heart. So we have look at the structure of the heart, look at how the blood circulates from the heart to the body. We are now going to look at, we've talked about open and closed circulatory system. Under closed circulatory system, we have two type: single circulatory system, common in Pisces, and double circulatory system. Under the double circulatory system, we have what? We have pulmonary circulatory system and what? Systemic circulatory system. So we are going to talk about pulmonary circulatory system and systemic circulatory system. And we are going to talk about heartbeat. So the heartbeat in two ways, which is called systole and diastole. So when you heard the sound loop, toop, loop, toop, that's the sound of the heart. So it's continue making that sound. So that's heartbeat. We'll look at systole and diastole and all uh, other things under the circulatory system next class, inshallah. That's by Saturday, right?
Yes, sir. That's my
So
friend, sir.
I'm sorry my system went off. Maybe it is good so that you can
Jazakumullahu khairan.
so you go and do the revision of what you've learned so that you you pin that one before we learn another one on it. You understand it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome, Sandra. Any question? So if there's no question, so till next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.